Okay, so Craig and I just did a video. My spouse, who wonderfully has agreed to do a couple more videos. So thank you. Uh, but Craig came or brought up a really good conversation regarding positive mindsets. And I should preface this by saying that that stemmed from me saying that I can't handle any self-help, anything, because I don't want to hear some sugar-coated way of making me feel happier or, artificially boosting something up in my morale. However, Craig was very poignant in what he said. So, Craig, maybe just tie in a little more on the whole positivity thing.
Well, at the last video we talked about it's kind of the issues we're dealing with and the change in, your mindset and stuff. And it was more as at the end, like, how do you get through it, right? And that's where it's leading into this, and just staying positive on it. So, I don't know if you want me to go through this now.
Yeah.
Anyways, I touched on it changes the dynamic and how our typical routines are, back when it's free for all and we could go do anything we wanted, basically. So, so we looked at, the eating at home thing, and I think that's huge. We loaded up with groceries because we're not allowed to leave, apparently. So anyways, Carly's been great. We've been doing lots of cooking, mainly her, on everything. And I really appreciate that. It's fantastic to have that. And not only that, it's time with your family, right? So, in my career, in my last year, it's been crazy busy. So I don't feel like I've had the time to do a lot of things. And now it's slowly coming back where I feel good. I got to play a little game with my daughter and stuff, like things I just haven't been able to do. So I'm hoping it keeps building on that, where things are slowing down. I can take the time, and we're together anyway, so we might as well do what we can, and it's reconnecting, right? So I brought that up as it's just, we're always connected, but we're always got our own agenda. Now it's kind of, we're together. And the other thing is, understanding how do we get through this, and it's a team effort. It's not just, Carly's doing great with the homeschooling thing, and I'm doing the work thing, and it's just what we have to do right now. So it's teamwork, but we have to stand back and appreciate what it is. We get to take the benefits of it, and there's good and bad, obviously, but definitely I think it'll be just fine. But it builds character, builds a team to get through this stuff. It'll be good.
You can tell both of us played
we
team sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we see the benefit of it too, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the alternative isn't so pretty.
We don't have an option right now, but I mean, it wouldn't be quite this way, but you gotta somehow get through it. Mm-hmm. So we're all in it, not just us. So
100%. Yeah. So Craig's comment on the positive side of things, when we are speaking more about, the difficulties we were facing when we were in the previous video, it really was interesting. It was like a nugget that brought up something that I have really thought of before. I've mentioned in other videos that I have issues with anxiety that comes on, and it becomes a little bit more acute in situations potentially such as this. And one thing that I found really helped for me is getting down to the granular with regards to the whole concept of gratitude. So we can always say, the high end, oh, I'm so grateful, yeah, I'm blessed, and that type of thing, but you're not really internalizing necessarily the entire mechanism that makes that gratitude able to be incorporated into your everyday life. So I had written an article last year, I think, on medium.com And it was about, it's called the Small Wins Journal. And it was during both of us going through quite a bit of rocky stuff with our lives. And I found that taking a little moleskin journal, little skinny thing, carrying around with me and writing down at least 5 things that I was grateful for that day really impressed upon me internally about how we truly are just a wealth of the ability to be grateful. So for myself in my journal, it was things as simple as I got out of bed today. Some days that was like the highlight when it was a really tough time, but things where Craig had mentioned in a prior video about him being able to do reading. And for the gratitude side of things, thinking about the fact that we are lucky enough that we have eyes and corneas that we can process that information, brains that are able to take in information and process it and don't have, a brain injury or something that is impeding those types of things we take for granted. Things like if I cut my finger while I'm making food for, us for dinner, eating rice for the 10th time in a row, that finger at least is there to be cut. So there's that side of things that taking for granted bit, that is a really good reminder for this type of time in our lives where we're so externally focused on what the powers that be have in place for where our lives are going. It is kind of grounding to have that perspective. So thanks, Craig, on just
and that the small wins. I remember when she wrote that before, and it's putting your mindset into it again. It's like the personality traits. Now I understand a lot of that, and small wins. It's huge. I think it's little things, and it changes. It changes everything. So
kind of gives you some context.
No, it does.
Yeah. So anyways, thanks, Craig. And I keep forgetting to mention this. Craig is an ISFP. So I've done quite a few videos about him or some with him. So hopefully we'll be able to keep him coming. As always, any video requests or comments, make sure you leave them in the comment section. It's especially during this time, the online community is just such a great tool to be able to share with each other and feel and understand other people's perspectives with regards to what's happening globally. So thanks so much.
Thanks.